Hey guys, sorry I forgot to mention, but my dad turned 72 today. That was the special reason why I made this video. And I know I included the whole story, but I didn't make the video. So here's the story, guys. Love you. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Today is a very special day to me. It's not a happy day, it's a sad day. This day used to be happy and joyful that we used to spend time with our dad all the time, but ever since Memorial Day 2017, mine and my brother's dad was taken away from us. He passed away from complications of diabetes, and it's sad and heartbreaking for anybody to have to go through diabetes and not knowing that you have diabetes. Because it happened all of a sudden. And my dad, he was a very hard worker. He worked in the cotton mill for 29 years. Stood up on concrete floors. And his feet, came home. He rest. He had to prop his feet up because his feet always hurt him. And just watching the health go, my dad's health decreased. But before he passed away. And my dad, he was the type of guy, he was very strong. If he already made his mind, he made his mind up right then. There was no going around that. My dad was always, I want to say, kind of strict. He held his ground, let me just say that. And he was not a very person, damn. He was a very good person, had a great heart on him. He would give you the shirt off his back if you needed it. That's how great my dad was. He was a caring person. He cared about others and animals he loved. We had a dog. And her name was Doodoo Brown. I won't ever forget. That was the dog that my mom had before she passed away. And, Daddy took so much time up with her. And, the joy that both of them brought to each other was incredible. Because my dad would be at home all the time with her after Mom passed away. And they had a close bond. A close bond together. And when I come home from school, I always remember she would be shaking her tail because she was happy to see me. And, it's those great memories that I have with my dad that I will always forever share in my heart. Also, my dad and I used to watch WWE all the time. We would watch it on Monday Night Raw, and then at the time it was Friday Night SmackDown. And we would always sit there, and his favorite wrestlers were Hulk Hogan, Triple H, John Cena, Shawn Michaels. Those were his all-time favorites. And my dad, he took up so much time with me after my mama passed away. But before my mama passed, we didn't have this close bond that we did until afterwards, after she passed away in 2009. But my dad brought a lot to the table. He brought hard work, dedication. He would help my mom at night at her store, at the store she was managing, after working 16 plus hours and only coming home to get 2 to 3 hours of sleep and go back to work at 5 a.m. in the morning and work all the way to 10 o'clock at night. That's how great my dad was. He was an amazing father figure in my life, and, I would not take nothing for that. My dad was an awesome father. I would not take anything else for that. I loved my memories of my dad, and he continues to shine in my heart, and he looks over me from heaven. Because he was a great man, and he still is a great man. There's no was about it. But, there's a lot of times Memorial Day is a thing that I don't look forward to, because that was the day that my friend and I, we went to a WWE event in Macon, Georgia. And I remember getting a phone call at 6 p.m., but I had my phone turned off before 6, where I could keep my battery to take pictures of the wrestling event. And I get a chilling voicemail from my sister-in-law's daughter. Justin, you need to call home. It's very important. And just knowing that it's an important phone call that you have to make, and you've seen your father's health decrease. And then after I heard that, I finally figured out, I knew what was wrong, that it had to be my dad. So when I called my sister-in-law, she was like, Justin, I have some bad news to tell you. Your father has passed away. And you talking about somebody that cried. I could not remember nothing at that event. I could not even remember the main event because my mind was not there. My mind was at home. My father is gone. That is kind of how a lot of people are. When somebody dies, at whatever they're doing, they cannot keep their mind on it. But you know what? My father loved professional wrestling, and also he was a wrestler at a Monroe wrestling show that they did. But it was not a show. It was like a wrestling ring where they used to just wrestle and stuff. And I remember him telling stories about how great that he used to be in the wrestling ring. I mean, it's like a community wrestling ring and all that. But to get that chilling phone call, and then I remember seeing a kid and his father sitting down there in the seat below us, and I was thinking that was me and my father. But even though that we never went to a WWE event, I could still picture that. And I had my friend talking about, oh, you okay, Justin? You okay? You want to go home? I was like, no, that's not what my father would have wanted. He would have wanted me to stay and enjoy the event, regardless of what happened. Because, I could not do nothing about it at that time. And I still cannot do nothing about it. But the Lord received a great angel that night. And it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to see my father go. Because, I lost my mother in June of 2009, and then I lose my father 8 years later in May of 2017 due to complications of diabetes. And it's chilling and it's heartbreaking to see that. But, I learned a lesson. Always take time to spend time with your family, with your loved ones, with your mother and father, because the day is not promised tomorrow. Tomorrow is never promised. So always do what you want to do now. Don't wait till later. Tell your loved ones that you love them, regardless of who they are. And I remember walking outside of the Macon Centerplex or Coliseum, whatever you want to call it, and I was looking up in the sky, and I said, I love you, Daddy. I love you. And I just broke down. I just kept breaking down that night. And then when my friend and I went to the Waffle House, you probably already know Bo, and we went to the Waffle House, and I met my other friend Mikayla there, and we went to a park, and we sat and we talked about the good times that we had with my daddy, and the things that we talked about was amazing. Because she would go with us and do things all the time. And, she had a close bond with my daddy. And I'm so glad and so proud that Mikayla could have met my daddy. And it gets nervous talking about this. It gets sad talking about this. And I know May is going to I'm going to have probably, cry a lot that day because of what happened. What happened 2 years ago. But always, I know my daddy would want me to stay strong, stay faithful, dedicated to what I love to do, and a hard worker. That's what my father would have wanted me to do, and to show love to all people. Regardless of what my daddy didn't like my sexual orientation, but I know probably after, before he passed away, he probably became more accepted of me. Because, my daddy and my mama meant a lot to me. And I love them so, so much. And I'm going to put a picture up of my daddy. I'm going to put him up right here. And I love you guys. Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to the channel. I sure appreciate it. And I love each and every one of you. Stay strong, be you, and love you. And always remember to love each other now. Don't wait till later. Because we never know what's guaranteed tomorrow. Love you guys. Thank you.